you want to keep them as straight as possible at first. And you'll all have your little instruction sheet. So for the small children, and I did this in yellow just because I thought it would be easier to see with my little writing on there. You're going to have 2 of these, 2 4.5 by 9 sheets of red or black. Mine is yellow just because I did it easier to see.
I gave you 2 red and 2 black, yeah, so you could make your own choices.
Largest side, whatever colors you want. You can even do any color you want. We're just suggesting that because Calder really loved red. That was his favorite color. So you're going to have these 2 without being folded. 2 of those. Then you're also going to have 2 of your wires for the little guys. I would say kindergarten through 2nd grade or 3rd, depending, or even higher. They might want to just do this anyway. 2 of these wires for the younger grades, and then you're going to have 1 of each little piece of paper. I think it's 3 by 4. Yeah, 3 by 4, bright yellow and bright red. So you'll have 2 of those. You'll have 2 big ones and 2 little wires. Now you're also going to have some masking tape that's just to affix things. You can do it any way you want. One of the best tips to give them also, when they cut their shapes out, have them save all their scrap paper. Don't throw it away, because you can always use little pieces of that to hide something, hide a wire, hide some tape, make it fancy, do like little designs like this one did on your base. And the first thing we're going to start off with is the base, because anything that is a sculpture needs something to stand on. This is how it should look when it's all done. And we're going to, got my yellow, you've got these pieces of paper, your large ones. First thing you're going to do is just fold it in half like a little square. And make sure that those creases are really creased, like fold it back and forth and make sure it's really good and creased, because that's a lot easier if you do it that way.
So all grade levels are making the base, and that's what you're doing.
All grade levels are making the base, but the bigger base is different. So this is just the lower grades. We're going to fold it in half first. Yeah, I'm just going to do the lower grades first.
I gave you enough to do the upper and lower grades, so you can play around today and see what works
just try
best.
And see how you like it. So you've got the the instructions. So you're going to have, for the lower guys, it's going to be folded in half into a little square. Make sure that's good and folded. Then you're going to fold the square into a triangle. You're going to end up with a little triangle. And fold that back and forth a few times. And then you're going to do the same thing to the other one. Fold it into a square, and then fold it into a triangle. So you'll have something that looks kind of like this at the end, with the fold in the middle and then the 2 triangles on the edge. And you're going to put a dotted line of glue around the outside corners of your triangle. So like up here, like that, just right along. Once you fold it in half, then you fold the triangle, just this part, that part, there and there. Just the outside triangle corners, that's what you're going to put your glue. Because we're going to glue the base together.
The top outside corners.
Yeah, top outside, right where I have the little line. Yep, you got it. So just right where that is, I'll put the glue and show you. And make sure that the kids say dot, 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 don't put a lot, because they can get it all gummy and really messed up. Just put a little dotted line of glue just on those 2 outside corners of that triangle shape.
For kindergarten first, they might want glue sticks. I do have glue sticks up there. It's just for security for a little stronger adhesion, we chose to do glue today.
Yeah. And then you're just going to fold them down so that you've got a bigger triangle at the end that will be folded in the middle. So it should look like that. And you've got your little glue and folded on there.
The top upper corners, yeah, the top corners, not the bottom. Then they get folded down.
When you open it back up here, those 2 top.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. Those 2 right there.
Get folded down to make a triangle.
Just like that. And then you're going to fold them down and have a bigger triangle. Yeah, just fold them into the center. Once you've got your glue on there, you just fold in those little points, and then you've got something like that.
I'm sure you did. What? Let me see. Just those 2 down.
That one's gonna be for the upper grades, so don't use. Don't fold that one yet, because that's not how you're gonna fold it. You're not doing that one.
You have both.
You've got the right. So that one's gonna get folded like a plus. It's gonna get folded like this. It's not gonna have the outside triangles. It's gonna be folded like that.
We're gonna do the upper grades in a little while.
Yeah, we're gonna do the upper grades next. I'm just gonna get the lower grade done really quick because it's easier. So everybody should have 2 large triangles when they're done gluing both of their pieces. once you've got that, and if the kids are following along, just do the example and then have them follow it right along with you, like have them follow right along step by step, and then have them just hold it up when they're done so that you know that everybody's ready to go on to the next step.
Got it?
And I've got to glue mine down so that I've got myself on the same page as you. And this makes a nice little sturdy base for their standing mobile, or their little stabile.
Where in these instructions are these folds that we just talked about? Because I know I'm watching them. Is it already in here?
I couldn't find it in there either.
Because if not, I'd like those.
Let's see.
Yeah, I would take notes on whatever
Yeah,
you
it
need to
should
do
be
for
on
instruction.
the second page, but I'm not sure.
The instructions.
It's on the, it'll be on the stabiles on that page. Those stabiles.
I don't see it in our packet.
Let's see. Oh, this is actually yeah, that's the implementation guide, but yours, we should actually have the other instruction.
Okay.
So that's actually, they've got the wrong thing.
I'll print out some of the instruction sheets. They might not have been in my folder.
It should be like that.
Well, I'll make some
Yeah,
copies
we have
of
two
it
different
today,
books, so
and
that
I'll put
tells
it in
you
there.
all the stuff but that's good to have that too, because then you can practice with those. So once you've got your two triangles, everybody have that? Two large triangles that are glued and folded? I've lost my other half to it. Oh, I walked it over and left it on your desk. Okay, you didn't steal it, I left it with you. So you'll have your two little triangles, and then you're going to glue two of them together, so it's going to come out like a little tri-horn hat. You're going to glue two sides together. I would say at this point, have it put their name on one of the lower edges so that we don't forget who it belongs to. Uh-huh.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
On these little things, where they're little, when they glue them on the back before they glue them, they should put their name, and I always had my kids put the date on.
Yeah, that would be a good thing to do. Yeah, that would probably be a perfect place to put it because they should fit on there anyway. Yep, I would say that's a good thing. Because then they put their name on that, then they know it's on there, and they glue it on first, and then you know you've got it all handled. So if you've got, in the case of not having those little tags, which you will have their name on there, or else glue that little piece of paper on there. Normally it's like a piece of like two-dimensional, it's not like a sculpture, so then you glue it on the back of the paper. But this one, anywhere that you can fit it, will be fine. And then you're just going to do the same thing with the glue. Just going to put it along the edges of your one triangle piece, glue it to the other one. So it's going to end up looking like, at first, like a little airplane, but you'll have a three-cornered or a three-legged stand.
We do have classes going on, you guys.
So this is how we'll have that. This is how it's going to end up looking. And then your base is done. You can set that aside as soon as you have your little triangle shape done. So they should end up coming out looking like, and then they can decorate it later on if they choose to, like to cover up tape or what have you. Yes.
The sample that you just showed, you know how it says it has a whole red sheet and yellow sheet? So is that one of those we use right now to do all yellow, but I could
Yes.
like a black one?
Exactly. You can, yeah, if you've got any which one, as long as it's the big size, like this size paper, that's going to be your base size. It's a 3.5
You were given
by
2.
4.
Rectangles together?
Yeah, you're going to have these. This will be made up with these two rectangles, the large rectangles.
The students will be able to pick. I gave you guys 2 of black and 2 of red because I wasn't sure, and I could just pick up everything. But when the kids are out there, again, this is why it's important. They get to choose if they want red, black, 1 red, 1 black. You know,
Yeah, but they
so.
only need 2. So
They
as long
only
as
need
have
2
two of that
pieces.
size, that's all they need. They can have a black and a red, or they can have 2 blacks, 2 reds. I just did this one because it was a little bit easier to see, I think, from a distance. So it should end up looking kind of like that, and then it just sits aside, and then comes the fun part, the wire part. Now you're going to have this type of little pieces of paper to make your shapes, and Calder was very abstract. He did a lot of shapes that looked like guitar picks. They were like little boomerang shapes. He did like little weird kind of like oval things with the tails on them, like lobster claws. A lot of funny little abstract shapes, kind of like these would be. And I've got them This is the other thing, it's gonna hook onto each other. This one I've made a little bit fancier with the like 2 different shapes, which they can do too, but we'll get to that in a minute. Sit there now, don't let me, okay, now it's gonna get all goofy. I'll come back to you. And what I do, what I have done in the past, you can have them fold their little pieces of paper to cut the shapes out of. Then they'll have 2, so they can glue it on either side of their wire to cover everything up. That's what I did with all of mine, with the little guys. This is how it'll end up looking, something like that. So you're gonna have these little things. And if you glue them, like do the 2 exact same shapes, then you could glue them to cover up the wire, and then that'll keep it really sturdy. Otherwise it looks like you've got tape on the one side that doesn't look so good. And I would say any kind of a shape is gonna be fine. I did a few like little Calder-ish type shapes. You can have like a little guitar pick type shape. Just any kind of a little abstract blobby thing. Those are just some suggestions. So have them just cut. Some can have a pointy edge to it. You can have a smooth edge. Just kind of curve it around. See what it ends up looking like.
Demonstrate how to get these 2 triangles into the stand again.
Yeah, then all you do is just glue 2 triangles together. Yep, and then you got your, that's exactly it. You got it. You're holding it exactly right. Good job. So then, yeah, you just glue those guys together. One of them will be a little bit thicker, and then the other 2 are thinner. But as long as you got your little trees, you're good. And the instructions might say to make it like this 4th one, but we had taped that together, and it really is kind of not so good. So I like the 3 sides much better, a lot sturdier. So now once we've got that little part done, you've got your little base. Then that's when our wires come into play. And so they don't bend because they're really easy to bend. Once they have their little shapes cut out, have them lay the shape down, and they're going to lay a wire on top of it.
And the shapes come out of this little one.
Yes, cut 1 out of each color. Or you
Out
can
of
fold
your
them in
one-
half and cut 2 out of each one.
One of the 3x4 yellows and one of the 3x4
Yeah.
reds.
Right. So you can either do like a big shape out of this one, or you can fold it in half and make 2 to cover both sides of your wire. But we do have the masking tape that we put on the desks, so you can do something like that. You could put masking tape on one side just to tape it on there, because that works too. That's actually how the instructions say to do it. But if they want to use their scrap paper to cover it up, I just think it looks kind of cute to have colors on both sides, because then any which way you turn it, it looks good. So either way, it's up to them. That's one way to do it, just tape it on there. Or you can glue another shape and cover it up like that. It's up to you. Whatever the little children want to do is okay. But that's when their scraps come in handy for decorating and adding fun stuff. Yep, that's okay. So once you've got your little base made, then you're going to do the wire at this little shape.
Oh, we're not.
Yeah, it's kind of, it goes both ways. Some schools, 3rd grade, go with kindergarten through 3rd. Sometimes it goes 3rd and above. So this time they have it kind of set up for 3rd and above, but depends. Wires are sometimes kind of tricky. Not everybody's like an engineer. And Calder was an engineer. He had an engineering degree. The balance is the key, but we'll get into that with the older kids because that's a little trickier. Yeah, you can leave the tape showing if you want to, or you can just cut another little piece of red and glue it right on top of it. Yep, there you go. It's up to them. Students' preference to either have the little tape showing or not. And then I'm going to show you how you got that. Now once you've got your little shapes, you're going to have 2 of them. Then you're going to lay it into one of the little like corners. And they say to tape it down, like use a few pieces of tape. I actually glued and taped mine because it kind of holds it better. So you're just going to lay your thing in there. And it doesn't need to go all the way in. It can be like just so long as it's a few inches in there. At least 2.
Be careful with glue and tape with the kids
Yeah,
because
it'll get wet. So
it'll
don't
get
have
wet
them
and
glue.
it
Have
won't
them just
stick.
probably tape it. It's probably easier for them. And clear tape works fine too. You don't have to have the masking tape. Clear adhesive, whatever you want to use. And I have more tape up here too if there's anybody that needs it. And that's when, if you've got something like this, put your little wire in there and you don't want to show the tape, then you can use your scraps and cover that up.